What up, nerds? It's what day is it today? Monday? Do you believe in time? Why should you? Hi, I am CNN for lying. Are you watching the what's is it the global panic of the pandemic of the panic? Well, why is one side and or all of the mainstream media, aka the enemy of the people, cheering on the crashing of the markets? How fucking ghoulish and anti-American is it for them to need to win their communist election so bad that they would root on the implosion of the economy? They root on recessions like that fucking over makeup moron Bill Maher with his fucking boring ass panels and his shit zingers and his fucking groaning audience. They make Richard Bay's audience look fucking learned. How about that? Anyways, yeah, so ghoulish cheering down the market hitting 25K. That was fucking Paul Krugman's move there on Twitter. But isn't that what they want? They want the panic. They want the markets. I mean, how many people did you see in masks this weekend? I saw one. I didn't see the shelves empty at Costco. I went to two different Harris Teeters and the shelves were full there. Nothing, the only thing was missing was that fucking 20-pound bag of rice. And I hope India is excited about our new supply chains and all of that opening up. Yeah, isn't that what we should be doing? Decoupling from the economy that, I love how they say that the previous administrations were asleep at the switch while communist China said, no, we promise we will treat our people better. We promise there will be democracy. Yeah, according to Bloombox. He says Xi Jinping has, what does he have, customers? He has a Politburo he has to answer to? Fuck that. Fuck that. All right? And we knowingly allowed them to steal our intellectual property across artificial intelligence, across bioweapons, across all military and intel, allowed them to push 5G all around the world, knowing that they were in a full tilt fucking theft. And guess what? Now every one of our governors, me, you, anyone within shrill earshot of my dumb voice, we're now on a list. You're either fucking hardline American, you're either pro-China, or they haven't figured it out yet. And I can guarantee, as far as China is concerned, if you're on the quote-unquote hardline America list, that's not a good thing. All right? Everyone wants fucking indictments to come down the path. Everyone wants this final justice to come in. If indeed there was a coup, a 3-year coup, as they pushed the fucking Russian collusion, and then there was another piece of the coup where they pushed impeachment to nothing. The best case they had to push impeachment, they just fucking lost. They have 2 more cases on deck. They're going to lose those as well. So that piece is over. But what you have is you have a willing and a complicit media, the same media right now, all right? Remember this, and I love this fact that look at the various diseases. Let's play a game. Match the election year with the disease. All right, is it SARS? Is it Zika? Is it Ebola? Is it fucking the swine flu? Which one is that? Now it's COVID-19. Okay, we're fucking, so what? It's an election year. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that what always happened in the 32-year cabal as Bush 41 handed off to Clinton, who handed it off to Bush 42, who handed it off for the palate cleanser, Mr. Obama, who was supposed to hand it back off into the Clintons in a 40-year plan and beyond? And now what happened at year 32? She fucking loses. So now the 2016 election's tainted. Now the 2020 election's tainted. Poor Mayor Pete had to drop out. And you know who they blame for Mayor Pete dropping out? The blacks who don't like gays. How about that for being a woke take? That's what they think of the voting population. That's why, by any means necessary, Bernie Sanders will align with the Chinese Communist Party and use every single election tactic possible to make sure that this election gets rigged. And if you thought there was going to be indictments coming down for a coup or coup part 2 or knowingly meeting with the fucking Iranians and bringing back whatever fucking disease, whatever, If you thought indictments were going to come, you're watching the movie here and you're like, well, that seems fucking obvious. Well, that is just as valid as Bernie winning and everyone who has ever flown the flag, said something positive about Donald Trump, or actually, heaven forbid, voted for Donald Trump, all right, believes that America should be first and or owns a gun, would be on that very mass indictment list. And wouldn't that be action number one of the Communist Chinese Party as they came in and continued the takeover? Because that's what they've told us. That previous administrations knew that this was happening and they allowed it to happen, and by their knowledge of it and by their allowance of it means that they're complicit in the fleecing of our intellectual property, in the fleecing of our fucking money. Do you believe they want, check this out, they want to take part of the, remember these fucking dudes who put their lives on the line and went to the military, all right, and they put in their whole life, or they died, or they left parts of their body on the battlefield, and now they're getting part of their retirement. They want to take 10% of military retirement and they want to attach it to an index fund that is more populated. It's not solely populated, but it's pretty much wholly populated in this index fund that is pro-communism, pro-communist fucking PLA, and anti-American. Why do they, whose idea is it to attach 10% of American military retirement to an index fund that is knowingly anti-American? Who's fucking signing off on that? Is it the same people who were signing off on the fact that the celebration of a market tanking? Oh my God, it's 25K, I can't come enough. How many Americans have died? 2? Which disease had 12,000 Americans die? Was it the bird flu? Was it the swine flu? Was it Ebola? Was it MERS? Was it SARS? Answer in the comments. And once you figure out the fact that there were 12,000 deaths that occurred by one of those diseases, and the market didn't tank, and the media didn't go in a full-blown fucking panic, the media was not celebrating. They weren't calling even for answers. They just didn't even talk about it for what, half year? Because it was their job to look the other way. Just like it's the other people's job to make sure they're looking the other way when fucking China's taken over. Oh, I can't believe they're all on the same side. How simple is this, folks? So what they've done with the media, and I love this because Brian Stelter and his fucking baloney lips, and Jennifer Rubin with her anti-American fucking lip flapping, all right, and worse than that, I believe that Rick Wilson has been a pro-Trump fucking mole from the beginning. Look, the dude's hateable. He's a fucking balding midget with no sense of humor. And that would be the perfect guy for the left to embrace. Oh my God, finally somebody who agrees with us. And he's been selling you a fucking bill of goods the whole time. Swung on a drive, that's my guess. Anyways. The same media that fucking lied to you, that said they believed Avenatti was going to be president. They believed that Trump was a Russian asset. They believed there was collusion. They believed there was obstruction. They believed that Kavanaugh had a binders full of boofs. They believed that impeachment was happening. They believed that Adam Schiff had evidence for 3 years. They looked the other way during the illegal unmasking by Susan Rice. They looked the other way during Benghazi. They looked the other way in the misuse of 702 materials. That same media, when it was first known that we were going to have an issue with COVID-19 and Trump shut down the border and shut down international travel, that was happening during impeachment. And they were so busy selling impeachment as a necessary weapon to be used that they just looked by the wayside and they called Trump racist. The fact that he said, here's a future pandemic, what we're going to do is shut down travel, and we're going to shut down fucking blah, 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 and they immediately just said that he was racist. And now here they are, a month into the story, and they're selling the panic. When it was first known, they didn't do shit. When it continues into April, and no one's dead, and the market's tanked, and the market's coming back up to where it was, or better, how are they going to continue this false panic? They're going to need something else. Perhaps a Bernie-led Milwaukee burning is coming our way.